Well, good evening, solar YouTubers. Today is Sunday, January 25th of 26. It is 7 o'clock at night. And I just went on my YouTube channel, the app there, the YT app. And I've seen that I went from 96 subscribers. I've had that for a while. I have 100 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing. I don't really, I don't say this to be mean. I really don't care about this, the subscribes. I just do what I do. I don't do it for money. I'm not going to get that big. But I do appreciate you guys watching the videos. And so this is going to be the 100th subscriber little video. And so it's going to be a little bit long, but I'm going to break down everything that I have here. And I know a lot of my videos I do explain everything, but I just want to kind of do a special video here of and Saturn down there. She's real happy. She's the star of the show. That's why you guys subscribe or like, is because of her. So I know I said the story many times, but for those people who don't know, we had a big storm here about 4 years ago, and I was out of power for 4 days. I wasn't going to do that again. So this is my setup. I started out in this case. I started out with a charge controller, MPPT. This is the 20 amp. And I bought this one here. That's my first one I ever bought. I've never used it because that's literally made for lead acid, those kind of batteries. And this is a little screen for it. There. I built this case. I was going to have everything comes in through the Anderson plugs. Solar comes in and goes out into I had this ran for a while, into my Reodo. Let me get that out for you. This is the Reodo 2000 watt power supply. Inverter. And I had it running for, I don't know, 2 months, maybe a month. And it worked really well. I had it powering the fridge. And it comes with a really long screen. Let's see if I can find that screen real quick. This is just a video. Yeah, here it is. There's a plug-in screen. And it's pretty nice little plug-ins, pretty long. It's like a phone cord. A telephone cord in plug. Yeah, I am not prepared for this video. I just looked down at 100 subscribers. It went from 96 up to 100. I'm like, oh, thank you guys. So it just plugs in to this end down here. It plugs right in there. Does have a USB micro, and this is a good one. This is their version. This is their new version of it. So the heart of the system is the Vevor all-in-one. It is a solar charge controller. It is a 3,000 watt inverter, and it is a battery charger. So when the batteries, if there's no sun and batteries get too low, it will kick in on a AC port and would charge up the batteries, or it would charge up the batteries through the solar, but it doesn't use the AC to DC charger. It has it built into that. It's I love the Vevor. It's pretty awesome. I've had no issues. It's non-stop since September. So now my journey is one of I live paycheck to paycheck. Right now I have maybe $100 in the bank. I don't have a lot of money. I pay my bills, and that's some money left over for food. And all of this is a, almost a 4-year journey. I started the journey out with, I'm using lights. So you guys, you know my videos, I don't use normal house lights. But I got this 2000 watt 2000 watt Gentrek Genmax generator, and it has not failed me. It's pretty nice. It's real easy to use. You gotta make sure you turn your gas to on. Pull out your choke, and you stick this to the on. Hit your on button, and then you start it. Now this pull cord is sticking, you know, like on a lawnmower. It does stick, so I gotta mess with that. But it does have a sticking issue, but you can get through it. And then once it's running, there is a button here for eco mode. Okay, it's a great one. It sits inside the house there by the door. And I do use that. I don't quite a bit, but I use it when I'm working outside on one of my vehicles in the summertime, and when it's hot, I use it to run some fans, cool me down, stuff like that. Whenever I do have a leak, a slow leak on my Jeep there on the back rear, and so I take my generator down there, and I have it with this Harbor Freight. This is the little Harbor Freight. It does the job greatly. Take it out there and run it. And I have, for the most part, I don't really take that generator out there very much. I use this EB3A. And EB3A is awesome. So I'm not going to run it because it's awful loud, but this will handle the air compressor, and I can fill the air compressor up, and I can fill it up about 4 times. 5 times, and before it runs out of power. But it does handle. So the original piece was the generator. So I had it for about 2 days. The storm hit on the Thursday. Bought it on a Friday night. Paid extra. Had it here on Saturday. So I had 2 days of the generator, and I only used it twice a day just to get the fridge temperature back down where it should be. And this is the app of the VEVOR. It shows it's running off the grid for the most part. Its first priority is the solar panels, then grid, then battery. In the summertime, when I have enough solar sun, I will just run. It will be the solar first, then the battery. Then when the battery gets low, then the grid would kick in, charge up the battery, and run my load. And my load, I'll have two things on my load. The 17 watts you see is literally my internet, my modem, and my router. As you can tell here, I got 54 watts coming in and only 17 going out. So there's about a 30-some watt loss. And the book says idle is about 55 watt loss. So that's the app for this. And so then right after the storm hit, it hit on a Thursday. We had a power back on by Monday night, I believe. And then I went on Amazon and I bought the EB3A. Bought it for, it was like $3.99. It's a lot cheaper now. No issues with it. Love it. And then I bought the cooler. I bought the charge controller. And then a 200 watt bifacial solar panel by JJN. And I ran that for a long time. Didn't have no power outage. I had one power outage, but I wasn't here. I was a couple counties away, cleaning windows. And but on that trip, I took the EB3A in my cooler. I had water and food in there. And I was gone for about 12 hours, 14 hours on that trip because I was, yeah, we had this business who had, it was a like a health clinic, and they had like one clinic in these towns, and they were several, you know, I that day I traveled through I think 5 counties, so I was gone for about 14 hours that day, and this ran solely off of the EB3A, and it lasted the whole time. Didn't get that close. So that was my original thing. Then I started running my fridge and my fan and stuff off of the original batteries here. So then I had the one battery. So then several months later, I bought one Red Odo, and I had it literally put to the EB38 to make it a little bit longer, a little bit, the storage on a little bit longer. That's only a 600 watt inverter. It worked great. Then I came across this Lucidity box on YouTube, and I fell in love with it. So I bought the Lucidity box. The box itself was like $175, but it is a 1,000 watt power inverter, only at 110 volts. It is a 10 amp charge controller. So I have my solar panel, my 200 watt solar panel, going right through this, and this ran my fan in my bedroom for a long time, for months. I would just power this, my fan and stuff with this, just a fan, and my little charging ports for this little charging port here. I had all my USB stuff it's AC to USB. So I had that, and then before I left for work, I would stick this outside on my porch. I would put my solar panel down on the ground, then I'll go to work. Come back and it's all charged up. And then I picked up a second battery, so I got two of these Red Odos. And so I was running this in parallel. I was running in series because I picked up the 2,000 watt Red Odo here. I love Red Odo. It's kind of expensive, but I like them. I have no issues with these batteries. Great looking batteries. So I had this for a while. These two batteries in series with that charge controller, with the 200 watt solar panels. The 200 watt bifacial, and it ran my fridge for about 2 months, maybe 3 months. Then I got online. Then I was watching YouTube about all these all-in-ones, and I never really. I watched them for a minute, and then I gave up. I quit watching because I wasn't selling back to the grid. I just did not enough research to understand there's two kinds of all-in-one hybrids. Okay, this does not sell back to the grid. It just uses from the grid. So I picked this up. Then I was charging up these batteries through that. Not for long, just only for a couple weeks. Then I got some other solar panels. They're eco-worthy. The 4 100 watt panels. It's on sale at Amazon all the time. I got mine for like $189. Got it with the brackets. I stuck them up on the roof, and then with the other 200 watt solar panel, stuck it on here. So I got 400 watts of solar coming into here. It's not enough. In the summertime, it is, because I have I have about 5 or 6 sun hours. It's enough to top these batteries back off, because all that I run on it is just the refrigerator. So starting probably here in a few months, I'm going to start running my fan at night off of this, and in the refrigerator too. So during the daytime, it charges up. I do not have enough solar coming in. That is the issue with me, but I don't have the money to go out and buy. I need about 2,000 watts to come in to keep these batteries charged up at 3 sun hours. just my situation where I'm at and all this. So, I'm stuck. So I had to file bankruptcy here a few months ago. Well, it's like almost a year ago. Um, I had a bunch of real estate from 20 years ago that went to crap. I didn't know what I was doing. Got into it. Bunch of houses that went to foreclosure. And then I had a gallbladder, and then I had a heart attack a couple years ago. So had all those medical bills, and so the bill collector started after 20 years of this residential crap. They decided to take me to court and to garnish my wages, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So filed bankruptcy, went through. Never had a credit card in my life, never. I'm gonna be 53 here in a few months, and so somebody sent me a credit card pre-approved for $1,000. I'm like, hell yeah, I need to build my credit back up. So I bought the system. So the VIVOR was $259 at the time. It might be more. I don't know what it is now. I bought for $30 the 2-year warranty. These batteries here were on sale. Well, I can't say on sale, but they were $577 for both of them. If you bought them separate, they'd be like almost $20, $25 more if you bought them separate. So they had a special, not a special, but they had a deal. So I bought these two, and I've had these now since September. So this whole system I have now, it's a September. So by September, I've had this system. I got these batteries probably a couple months later. Not a couple months, but a couple weeks later. And it's been running great. I can literally run the EB3A. You just use its 600 watt power supply, and I got 5 kilowatts of storage there, and I got 2.5 kilowatts of storage here. All these are in parallel, and so I don't have to use my EB3A like this anymore. I just did that, set it up just so in case power went out, and I have it all connected and ready to go. And how I hook up the VIVOR is just saw somebody. There's another person on YouTube who's from Ireland, I think. And he has a VIVOR. He has a couple of them. And he doesn't go in great detail, but he did go into detail on the cords. So I just grabbed a 10-foot extension cord. I cut the male end off. The female end off. The male end's down there, and that's my AC in. The AC out, I just cut the male off and have the female, and I put it to a power supply. So it's all back there in that mess. But I got about 15 feet of extension cord here. I can wind out. And so, talking about fuses and all that, the circuit breaker, that's a 15 amp on that. And this is a 15 amp on this, so I can't draw more than 15 amps, so this was shut off. And then on the batteries itself, these are in parallel, and these are 2 gauge, I don't know what these, 1 aught, 2 aught, something like that. These are 200 amp fuses. And then I have my solar coming in. And that's about it. It's a simple setup, real easy. These terminals are bolt down instead of screw. A lot of them you stick your wire in, you screw down, but these are bolt terminals. So you have ring terminals on this. I had to put on, and they go in there and they bolt down. So that was very good. This construction of this, for being a VIVOR, and they are kind of known as for generic crap Chinese stuff. This has been running non-stop since September. So here in the wintertime, here by November, I switched it over into the wall, so it's running off the wall at all times, except for during the daytime if I have solar coming in, and then the VIVOR will make up with the AC for the DC, if the load is too high and enough solar coming in. But before that, I had what's called SUB, solar, SBU, solar battery and grid utility. was there. I mean, so I could run this battery, the fridge, and the fan for about 2 days, maybe a day and a half. I have it down. These are 28.2 volts. It's maxed. It's fully charged. When I got down to 26 volts, I will have the battery charger kick on from the grid and charge up the batteries. It's about 1,000 watts it will kick up to and will charge the batteries. I did that all summer. I just don't have enough solar coming in to do a proper sun charge. The days that I have solar, all day long, nice and nice solar all day long, it's the 400 watts is more than enough to bring these batteries back up to life. But if I don't have the full 5 or 6 hours, then the batteries within about a day and a half get down to that 26 volt range, and then I have the VEVOR to keep it. So I think the 26 volts is like 60%, 75%, something like that. I don't quite remember. So I don't use the battery all the way down and then charge it all the way back up. I just keep it above 50% in case the power does go out. I have no sun or not enough sun, then these batteries can last until I can get home and hook it up to the generator. And what's cool about this, so if we mess with the controls here, there we go. So you see that circle, the wave, that's the AC coming in. It's going into the battery, then it's going into the grid. And it's at 82 volts, and the load is only, is that dirty? And the load's only, 18, 19. That's because of the my router and modem. When the refrigerator kicks on, it'd be about a 140 watt draw. For a 20-year-old refrigerator, it does pretty damn good for wattage wise. These here draw about 50 watts a piece ish. The top cooler I've used it a few times, and it's a great cooler. Orange is my favorite color. Blue is the accent, so that was perfect. I really bought that for the color scheme. That's the name brand, and I've had no issues with it. I bought that over the summertime from a crackhead. This guy was walking down the sidewalk. He was carrying a wagon behind him and had this in the wagon. I drove by him and I saw the fins on the side. I'm like, I think that's a battery operated cooler. I swung around and said, "Hey man, what you got in your wagon?" He said, "I got me a cooler." I said, "Cool." I said, "You selling it?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm selling it." I said, "How much?" He said, $25. I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah." And I said, "You got the cords for it?" And he opened it up, and the cords were in there. And it still had the plastic on the screen. It's been used, you can tell, it has nice dents in it, scrapes, but over here, you can see it's been dragged a little bit. So I had all the cords with it, so I bought it for $25. I went to the gas station and bought some water and some pop and threw it in there, and I put down to -5. I think it went down to -5 or -10. -5, I think, the lowest it went down to. And I ran it for a couple hours when I was doing, my jobs, and it got down to, I think, 0 or 5 degrees. 5 degrees or 0. So it got down really cold. It just wouldn't get past that. But it did real good for a couple hours. So I got me 2 backup coolers. That top one. So they have several versions of this. They have 4 versions, I think. So they have a smaller or a bigger one than this. I'm not sure how many quarts this is. What quart is this? What quart is this? That is, does it say what quart it is? Trying to read this through the phone. No, I don't know. It pulls 45 watts. Yeah, don't say how many quarts this is. I don't think. Nope. I don't remember. 24 quarts or something like that. I'm not sure. So they come with the two. I think there's a bigger version of this. I believe, right? I don't. It's been so long. And they had two versions without a battery and two versions with a battery. So for each size cooler, you can have no battery or a battery. The bad thing about this company is you buy a cooler without the battery, you cannot buy the battery at all. They do not sell the battery separate. And the battery goes right in here. And it slides right down in there. So I didn't buy the battery. I thought I can go on later on online and buy it, and I can't. They just don't make it no more. So I just use that. That does have an AC and a DC plug. It uses the barrel connectors. I'm the cigarette lighter, and same for that one. The power strip. It's pretty nice. So I'm going to show you my little accessory box here. Let's get the inverter. So this is my little accessory box. All the connections I ever have for all my solar. Let's stick it over here on this. Try and do this one-handed. So when you first open up this power cord for the EB3A, I just have a little angle thing here. There's not a whole lot here. I'll move this one-handed. It's hilarious. Everything always falls off. This is your MC4 connector tool and stuff. So in here I have all kinds of goodies. This is MC4 to Anderson. These are barrel to Anderson. That's the name of that one. What I got here, another MC4, and this is it's a USB cigarette lighter connector, and that is that. So I have these other connections here. So I do have these called the XT60 to the Anderson there. To your Anderson. Then I have a real nice thick, just a extension. What else I have? This is the cigarette lighter one for the EB3A. This is what we got here. This is another. This actually just went to the Lucidity battery box on that one. This is a barrel plug to the MT60. So what I had a AC, a DC booster. Here it is. It no longer works. It blew up on me. But this is 12 to 24. And I had it charging up the EB3A. The higher you can put about 24 volts into that. And it would charge at 24 volts. So it's more efficient the higher volts. So I just put 12 into 24, and so I had it connected with the Anderson. Oh yeah, I keep getting those things mixed up. So that's what that was for. So that was for the EB3A. Then there's a Anderson to barrel. Got me another. This is the builder stock. Just the same thing. And these are just Reen. That had the Anderson to the the other one. And that's my little box I have. You can tell I love orange. So I put everything in this. It's water sealed, waterproof. If I have to take it out, take it on the go, I can. And those go in there too. So I do have alligator clips to the Anderson plug Anderson. Am I saying that right? Is it Anderson? I guess, to MC4. So I had to make, so with the EB3A and how it's wired, I had to make a male to a female. I had to make these two positive and negatives to get the polarity straight. So I had to, you couldn't just wire that straight. The way it's wired, normally your, on the MC4, let's break it up. Normally your AMC, hold on a second. All right, sorry guys, this is a totally a prompt 2 video. I saw 100 subscribers. I thought I'd give you guys something, a little special tour. So it's the barrel plug into the EB3A, and it's reversed. Normally, you see how the red is female and the ground is male. On your normal plugs, on your normal, let me find one real quick. I just thought I had it. No, I didn't. How was that one? So on from your solar panel, the positive is male and the negative is female. So the polarity from the EB3A is, if you hook the solar panel, is wrong. You can't hook it up that way. So what I had to do is I had to build these two cords. So I had to build 2 male in for the positive and 2 female in for the negative. So I had to put the male into the female, so it made the actual connection correct. So it took me a while to figure that out, but for some reason the EB3A barrel plug does not, this is their barrel plug and this is their solar panel, they do not hook up correctly. You have to, they got the connections from the factory or something, the connections are backwards. And I didn't take these apart, I didn't think about it, and so I just made these little jumpers. So that's the only real big issue there on that. And so what I did was, so like you see here, to make everything correct, so since the positive is going to be male off the solar panel or whatever, then and everything connects correctly to this. And so here in my other case, got a lot of these cases. What do we have in this one? Oh, this one's pretty much my flashlight battery backup, just in case. I got 2 of these Braun flashlights, and they do have USB charging. You can charge your batteries or whatever from your phone. Then I have this little battery bank. There's a little battery bank, in and out, and the lid is magnetic, and I use these batteries here. Let's see, focus. There we go. And so these are the 21700s. They're a little bit thicker batteries, but I got them on sale pretty cheap. So I got one in this. I just charged all these up. I got 4 of these batteries in here. Then in my backpack here, I have one in my backpack I carry. So this is just my emergency battery light gizmo box. Then with those batteries there, where's my battery charger at? Did I put that battery charger up? That's hilarious. What do that battery charger? Oh, here it is. Now this battery charger is, this is my number 1 battery charger right here. Okay. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an 8 battery charger. That's the bottom of it, if you get to see it. I put out a little bit. It does have a USB-C going in. Now, this battery charger I've had for a couple years now, and you can charge non-rechargeable batteries in this machine. I love this machine, but it will charge. I charge non-rechargeable batteries. I literally use, for the most part, non-rechargeable batteries. I go over here to Harbor Freight, and you literally pick up these Thunderbolts cheap batteries, you know, really cheap batteries, and I've always gotten good charges out of them. They don't, you can get, I think you can get about 6 or 7 charges out of them before they start to really not do any good. But you can find those. I find them used batteries all the time, and I throw them in here and charge them up. But good. But the big batteries, these big batteries do fit. They do fit nicely in here. So this is about the biggest battery you're going to get. And don't know if you put 2 side by side. I've never done it before. I've always spaced them out. Let's see, 2 side by side. Yep, you can put 2 side by side in there. And I do use these to charge up the 650s? 16. What are those batteries? Hold on a second. Yeah, battery sizes to me are just 18650s. That's it. Is it the 18650? Hold on, let's see what it is. Oh, they're the smaller kind. What does that say? I don't see anything. So these are the like 16650s. I think that's what the sizes are. I don't remember those sizes anymore. I don't deal with them long enough to whatever. And this is my battery storage, more or less. These are all rechargeable AA's, my AAA's. Now my regular 9-volt batteries. What's cool about this kit, it's an Amazon kit, and these are the Amazon rechargeable batteries. I've had no issues with them. What's cool about those batteries, if you have an old machine that takes a C battery, right? Well, you just take the battery, throw it inside there. There you go. Now you have a C. Whoops. Now you have a C battery and a AA battery in a C holder there. I thought that was a genius idea. And the same thing for a D battery. So just stick that down, and there's a D battery, and they all have the same voltage. So from a D battery, the C battery, D battery, AA, AAA, they all are the same battery. Same voltage. It's just the size of the battery is just different. So my table's a mess. And so this is my little light thing I have, my little battery light thing. Just in case, like a tornado is coming or something, I can grab this real quick and take it down in the basement or something like that. And this is the other box. And this is my actual charger. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here. So this is the battery charger that I use, charge up my lithium ion batteries. That's what it is right there. And it is phenomenal. I love it. Now there on the right, you see this repair button, okay? But my daughter, a couple years ago, her battery went dead during the winter time. I went over, jumped her. She got running fine. And then a couple of days later, it went back. So I went over there, took the battery out, switched the battery. I took it out of my Jeep, stuck it in her car. I just switched batteries. Got back to the house here. And then I filled the battery back up with acid in distilled water. It was very low. I stuck this on repair, and I did this for about 3 days, I want to say, something like that. And it literally repaired the battery. And she had a good another year from it, half a year and a half. And then finally it just gave out. And so this is the AC part of it. You plug it into the wall, and it goes into the side here. And then there you go. And the output is just a Anderson Dean's, my fault. That's called Dean's. Dean plugs. Now these here, same thing. Now this here is the cord for the cooler, for the plug-in lighter. That's the unique plug-in for that blue and orange one. What else do I have? And this is the power brick for it. As you can tell, power brick for it. Then I have another power brick for the other. And for the other one, and the other one does it have the same kind of connection? Oh, yes, it does. Okay, so they both have the same kind of connection. I did not realize that. Let's get down here and take a look. Yeah, it does. Oh, cool. All right, did not know that. So I learned something today. So I have 2 of those, and then you can charge. You're gonna have this to charge, your alligator clips, or you can use the Dean's on there. I'm at the Anderson. So that's my setup, guys. Nothing really a whole lot to it. It's more for a emergency type situation. I am working towards living out of an RV. I want to get out of an apartment. I want to stop paying rent and utilities. I want to be somewhat free. I want to live in an RV where I have no rent or property tax. I have none of that stuff. The laws in this nation make it hard to do that, especially here in Indiana. You're not allowed to live in the RV full time. You got like 10 days. But I don't know if you can tell over there, we have an RV, bunch of crackheads. That's a crackhead house right there, a white one. Bunch of crackheads live in that and full time. They've been doing that for about 4 years, and the city won't do nothing about it. And then right over here, this is a Mexican restaurant, and they live out of that one. I've been there for 2 years now. Well, yeah, no, a good year, maybe a year and a half. There's all the snow. And so you ain't supposed to live out full time, but you got people who do, so I don't know. But Indiana says you can't do it. So the only issues I have moving full time in my van into an RV is sorry about that, guys. I had a sneeze coming on. So bad thing about me moving out into an RV is I don't have nowhere to park my vehicles. So during my job, I need to park my RV somewhere, and then maybe a Jeep with it too. I'm thinking about selling the Jeep. If I get the RV, there's no way I can keep the Jeep. I don't have anywhere to put it, anywhere to store it. I have no friends or family. I can stick it somewhere. So, that'd be one of those things. I don't know, but trying to find a place to park. That's the key issue for me to have the RV, because I'm not traveling. I'm actually have a job, and I just don't want to live in the house no more, or apartment. But the RV I'm looking at, it's like $1,500, and it has a bathroom, shower, toilet. It's pretty nice, pretty small. It's rough. It's a 1975. It's a Chevy, I think. It's in I was born in '73, so it's 50 years old. I'm 52, so it's pretty old. Now I haven't gone through it, but I walked through the inside of it, and it needs cleaned. It needs remodeled on the inside, no question about it. But and then if I get rid of the built-in AC units on the up on the roof, I have enough roof storage to get a couple 500-watt panels up there. I can get easy 1,500, 2,000 watts on that roof, and that'd be more than enough for me in an RV. Because I have AC connections here if I need to run AC, and then I have DC if I need to run DC. And another cool toy I got is this little, another power brick. Another power brick. Oops, upside down. And it has three of your cigarette lighters, and you can turn it on by a button. And it itself plugs into a cigarette lighter. That's a pretty cool little power brick. This is the other power brick that I really like. Odo has the same thing, but it's different. It does have all your USBs, Type C there. It has 3 of your cigarette lighters. It does have a light, 3-phase light. No flashing light. That's awesome. And it's literally a Anderson plug. And so all I have to do to run, so I don't have DC on this at all. So I have one of two things. I can run a this connection here to the clips, to the positive and negative. I don't want to put any more negative on that one because it's pretty thick. So I can use the barrel plug. You know, the barrel, the reading terminals on one end, and I can put one over here on negative, one over here on positive. I can do it that way. It don't matter, but I can use this, and this has additional plugins for it. So that's really versatile. I use it, as you can see, I use it quite a bit. And when I'm charging up my batteries, every once in a while, I have to use this battery charger because if I go more than a couple days without sun, then I charge my battery. I try to keep my batteries charged up well above 50%. So I just plug that battery charger right into the Anderson, and it charges up the batteries. It goes through the first battery, and then it goes into the second one. So it's perfect. So talking about the RV, I got sidetracked. This is more than enough power for me for an RV. More than enough. And if I seriously have to, see the light flickering? See that light flickering? Yeah, that's the power situation I have here. We have a bad electrical box. The neutral grounds are bad, whatever. So, but there's more power for me. I got the AC power if I need it. I got the DC power with the box. Sorry, been talking too much. So sorry about that, guys. I've been talking. I need to drink more tea. So I have enough, or I can just use the EB3A. Hook it to the boxes. Yeah, you see my lights flicker on and off. That is the power surges that I have. Now let's see if we can get this on video. It's 121 volts, so we're not seeing anything not really big. No, not yet. But that's the power flicker that we have. It goes down to 50 volts. Then it jumps back up to 100 volts. Let's see. No, it's not doing anything yet. So get down there. It's still 121. So it should be 120, 121. But it does get down. It got down to 50. It held 50 for like 10, 15 minutes. Then And then at about another 5 minutes after that, it ramped up to 160, 170, and held there for a while. I have a video on that one. Oh well. So this is more than enough storage for me for an RV. Solar come in, all in one, and all in one we'll have a nice party day. We got a lot of power flicker. I'm gonna try to catch this on the video again. Is that happening? No, it's not happening. So, but this be enough storage for me for an RV. And then, like I was saying, if I have to, I can get a alternator, a DC charger as I'm driving. I can charge up the batteries as well. I will have definitely 2 separate systems in the RV like I have now. It'd be no problem whatsoever. Now, the VEVOR is a 24 volt system. That's why I have it in parallel. Well, that's why I have the 25 volt batteries. I have it in parallel. So I got 200 amps. I'm at 200 amp hours at 25.6 volts. So that is a 24 volt system. They do have a 12, I think. But this is be enough for, it's small enough for an RV. Blue Eddy has a nice system out too, and a whole system out, real nice, but you know, too expensive. So I do this by paycheck to paycheck. My next big purchase is solar panels. I have to get at least 4 500 watt panels on the roof. I need at least 2,000 watts coming in. I have enough storage on the roof to put quite a bit up there, but the landlord, you know, at any time he's being nice enough to have me, let me have him up there. But any time he can say, you know what, man, you just need to get those down. And they're not bolted to the roof at all. I can put them up there, but I can't physically bolt them to the roof. So what I have is these it's the aluminum triangle brackets. Then up on the roof, I have these mats laid on the roof. And then I have cat litter. Cats is great cat litter. What you gotta do is just suck it up. And I did that yesterday. I cleaned this up yesterday, and that's how much cat litter she just shoots out. I didn't realize until a few hours ago. I'm like, damn, I just cleaned that. Because my lights are not really on in the kitchen. This is how I power my kitchen. I power my kitchen with this light up here. There you go. I power my front room. I normally have this light off. And if I have to power my front room with lights, I come over here and I turn on this. So it lights up the front room. And I have this on because I was messing with my computer, but I normally have this off. Where's that light? That light's right here. Yeah, that light's right here. So if I really want to light up my bedroom in here, my computer room, I got this little wand. I just kind of stick up here, stick up there, whatever. It lights up. You know, the battery's getting kind of low, but I power my. If I have to do that, this is pretty nice light. And then I'll go in the bathroom. Right now, it's just a night light. But right above my sink, I have a light for my sink. So I got battery lights throughout my apartment here. So I'm used to running like this. So, because you see, I got enough light in this place, and this is a motion sensor. It gets brighter if it detects you. But this is how I normally light my house. And this look how bright this is, okay? So let me turn on the normal light and turn this off. It's pretty bright, but I'm using AC power. You know what I'm saying? So just for this video, I use these lights. These lights are not normally on. That's my 18 gallons of water. I got prepared just in case. So, This is going on an hour long. I didn't think I was talking that long. It's 54 minutes, 55 minutes. So that's a special, guys. I appreciate the subscribes. I just really don't care about them because I don't do this for subscribers. I don't do this to make money. I don't do this to do any of that. I'm just want to show the average Joe that you can get an emergency setup done on a very, very tight budget. You know, I'm still paying this off right here. I got a couple $100 to go, but I'm paying it off. You know, all this I bought cash, but I saved up for it and bought cash. All this is a 4-year journey, and I finally got it up to here. The only piece I'm missing is solar panels, and you know, for what I want, I'm looking at maybe $3,000, and I just don't have that at all. So I gotta save that, and I'm looking at another couple of years before I get the solar panels that I want. I can get 400 watts up there, but I need high wattage panels because I can't put a whole lot up there. The owners allow, so like I said before, I got them on the mats. Then I have a 1x6 up there going across the bottom of the brackets. I got two 40-pound sandbags on there. I know the plastic will eventually eat away. But then I have these, up on the roof was the old tar buckets, and they were half full, and they weigh about 30 pounds a piece. And so I got the buckets on each of the corners of my bracket. So for a wind to blow those panels, it has to be a very nice gust of wind. I mean, very nice. I'm talking 50, 60 miles an hour to move those brackets. But that's the only thing that's limiting my system the way I want is solar panels. But moving an RV, I can put about 4 up there on the roof, mount them to the roof, and I'd be fine. AC will be, I'd like to get one of the, what's that called? That's called like the Wave 3 from, from that company. I can't think of them offhand right now. The other main, actually the main solar company out. They got a heater. They got an AC/heater unit, battery operated. Can't think of the name right now. But yeah, I want to move in the RV. It's just right now I just don't have no place to stay and rest because RV has to stay somewhere. I hop in my truck and go do my job and come back and be like my house. So I need to find somewhere I can park that. And I'm thinking I can find somebody who has a decent sized parking lot, a business, and go in there and tell the owner of the business, hey, I clean your windows for free every day if you let me stay in the parking lot. You know, something to that. So do a barter system. I will clean your windows. That's what I do for a living. I clean windows. I would clean your windows once a week or every day or every other day or whatever if you let me stay in the parking lot. And I stay in the corner, stay out of the way. Be no trash everywhere. Like some people do. I will literally have, you know, I have the 2,000 watt generator. I will have the gas on hand. I will have the, I will have all of this what I'm doing now. I can't live off of this right now. It's just, I can. Seriously, I can. I can bring in the solar that I can bring in, and when I don't have enough solar, I can fire up the generator, and then I can charge these batteries. I mean, that is really easy thing to do, and I got that little, this is battery operated, Harbor Freight transport pump, and so all I gotta do is stick this into a gas tank and suck it out into a gas can or whatever. For the storm, I have a half a tank for that, and I fill that one up, so in case the power did go out here for some reason, I was ready. So thank you guys. This is an hour-long video. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. And this can be done a piece at a time. And for people who don't have None of this is sponsored. I bought everything with my own money, and it can be done. It's taken me 4 years to get where I'm at right now. I got 600 watts of solar on the roof, 7.5 kilowatts of storage. Got me a 1,000 watt power inverter. I got me a 3,000 watt power inverter. I got a 2,000 watt power inverter. I got 2 coolers and a backup solar charge controller. So it took me 2 years, and all the fuse, I just got it all. And my solar's everywhere. So it can be done one step at a time. You just gotta, I would say, start off, get yourself something similar to one of these boxes. It's really cheap. Or you can go to a bigger version. This is, only 268 watt hours. You can go to a bigger version. What is it? It's Bluetti, and there is EcoFlow. That's what it's called. EcoFlow has, and they're the big dogs of the industry. EcoFlow has real nice equipment. They are the leader in solar, but there's a big but. Their pieces are not interchangeable with Bluetti or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like your Dell computers and your Compact and it's like those computers. If they go bad, you can't really fix it. They're proprietary to that part. So EcoWorthy is not EcoWorthy, but yeah, they're the same. EcoFlow is the same thing. This is just a system that I put together, but budget wise, the box was like 154, 179, something like that. I bought the batteries a couple years ago, and they were like $3.99 a piece. Now you can get them for $2.18, $2.39 or something. They came down quite a bit in price. So for an emergency system right off the bat, for under $400, you can get yourself a 1,000 watt inverter, 10 amp charge controller. These are aftermarket. I bought these. These are awesome. These are shunts, and they are I call them bipolar, but they are both ways. So if I turn this on, okay, I do use a New Wave hot plate. Okay, if I turn this on to 600, hit I hit high. That's 400. Let me turn this light off. That's 425 degrees. Hit start. It comes on. And you see it's taken 20 amps at 275 watts, 34 amps at 446 watts, at 110 volts. If I go, that's 634 watts it is drawn from this 1,000 watt inverter. You hear it? It's not too loud. So it reads coming out, right? We go in here and just shut this off. All right, I just shut it off. And you're going to see that the battery is trying to equal itself. You got negative going out, you got positive coming in. So these shunts are awesome, and they can tell you what's going out and what's coming in. And so I recommend these shunts. And I had to cut a hole in the box to stick this in here. I stick this in I got pretty good sun up there during the daytime. Then I do have a red auto box over here. Just a box. There's no chart. There's nothing in it. Just a box for the battery. I cut that hole to put that in there. So, well, thank you guys. If you stayed here, like once again, I know this is about the third time I quit this video, but I just want to tell you guys, just everyday living, we can do this just a piece at a time. You got to be smart. You got to have a solar coming in. 200 watts is fine. You got to have a battery storage. You got to have a power inverter, a charge controller, and then you need some kind of DC connections. and AC connection. So I just love this box. They have a better box now, a version 2, I think you call it. But find something like this. You can find these boxes on Amazon. And the only difference between this box and this box is really the name. It's like Pro Wing shoes and Nike shoes. You know what I'm saying? This has all electronics in it. It's you know, it's like a Ferrari and it's like a vet, a Corvette and a Chevette. You know, this is like a Chevette. So that's a good analogy. But you can pick these machines up now. I won't get the EB3A. It's the battery size is not big enough. Now, if you get EB3A and maybe another battery, and then plug it in, you have your extended battery. So you have, you know, the 1,280 amp hours. I mean watt hours. You can extend the life of the EB3A by connecting it to batteries. But I wouldn't get an EB3A. It's too small unless you just want to power cell phones, stuff like that, maybe a fan, but you're not going to last too long on a 268 watt hour battery. So you do have to get some kind of external storage. But there's a lot of these on the market. They're nice. I just like the homemade ones. A lot of less electronics involved. You know, this does have a Bluetooth app, so if I'm close enough, I can look at it and see what it's doing. I can change what comes on, what goes off. But the simple fact is, just get you a battery, a box that has an inverter, has the, you know, your DC plugs, and a 10 amp charge controller. And this is real simple. The solar comes from MC4 into a Anderson. Anderson plugs into this very top. My solar coming in right now is onto the top and charges up both batteries. And this is really a great emergency system to have. And you're looking under $500. You're actually looking under $400 nowadays. The 200 watt solar panel is like $179. And then the batteries right now are like $200, $209. And then you can find these boxes or something similar to it for about $200. So I mean, you're looking at almost about $500 ish. You can have a nice emergency system in the house. 1,000 watt power inverter. You're going to have, you know, about 1,200 watt hours. I think I'm doing that right. Times 100. It'd be like a kilowatt of storage, like 1 kilowatt. So, but then you can work up to the bigger system. So, all right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.